few people have been asking me recently and been commenting on my channel, hey Jay, have you become an atheist? I've been getting emails going, I've seen some stuff on your YouTube channel and it's causing me concern. Right, let's set the record straight right now. Yes, everybody, I have become an atheist. Somebody call the police. Look, why have I become an atheist? Well, let me take you back to 2011, and I'm on Mormon outreach, representing a little church in my hometown in Bourne of Lincolnshire. And I'm talking to this Mormon, and I'm saying, look, I've got sufficient evidence to prove the fact that Mormonism is false, and indeed that Joseph Smith was in fact a charlatan and a liar. And I've produced a load of stuff showing that the Book of Mormon was in fact a fraudulent book, and I still obviously believe that that's still to be the case, because the evidence supports the fact that it is. And this Mormon turned around and he said, look Jay, all you've got to do is pray over the Book of Mormon, you'll just know that it is true. And the thing is that I said to him, I said, well, even when evidence supports the fact that it isn't? And he goes, yeah, that's right. And he goes, well, surely you've got to judge yourself by your religion by the same standard, Jay. And I didn't really follow him, but actually what he said made complete sense, because as a Christian, I had exactly the same thing. There wasn't evidence, there's not evidence to support that there is God. In terms of the Bible, there's no evidence to support that this was inspired by God. And actually, we don't even know who it is who wrote the Gospels. I always used to think that Matthew, Mark, Luke and John were in fact real people, and they actually witnessed Jesus, and therefore they wrote the Gospels. Actually, that's not true. No one knows who wrote the Gospels. Actually, the evidence to support the Bible is actually really flawed as well. Why do we believe it? It comes down to one simple thing: faith. Why do Mormons believe in Mormonism? Faith. They don't have any evidence to support or back up what they actually believe in. And so in the end, I had to have a good hard look at myself. I had to have a good hard look at what it is that I believe in. Was there anything that actually supported what it is that I believed in? No. It was a presupposition of the fact that I believed God to be true. I believed that he existed, and that stems from obviously growing up as one of Jehovah's Witnesses. But if you are completely prepared to take your presupposition glasses off and just completely follow the evidence, no presupposition with regards to what is true and what isn't, you'll come to a completely different conclusion. I'm going to put these back on. It's very sunny in the UK here today. If you are prepared to just completely say, right, I'm going to forget everything that I know and everything that I think I know, and follow the evidence, you'll come to a very different conclusion. When I went to the Natural History Museum in the UK, and you can actually see where we have descended from as human beings, you can see how everything is lined up, you can see how evolution actually works, you can follow the evidence and see how it all works. And yet it may seem a really strange thing for somebody who has come from a religious background, as somebody who believed in literal creation and all this sort of thing as well. But actually evidence does support the fact that yes, evolution is in fact true. Now, don't get me wrong, there are obviously still some things that still can't be proven. We still don't exactly know what there was in the beginning. I think there are still some gaps with regards to the Big Bang and all this sort of thing as well. And yeah, those things are still being sorted out. But the thing is that you can't turn around and say that purely from the point of view of the fact that there isn't, we don't actually know where we in fact came from. You can't just turn around and say, well, because of that, therefore God exists. It's called the God of the gaps theory. We can't just turn around and say, well, because science can't explain every single detail, therefore we're going to put God in its place. But that's how science works. It's forever changing based on the new evidence that it supports. Now, people say, well, if God ever revealed himself to you, would you believe in him? Well, of course I would. Now, that doesn't mean instantly that I'm going to worship him, because I think he's got a lot to answer for, such as killing children in the flood, such as wiping out all of the animals. Well, what did the animals have to do with it? They didn't sin. So there's a lot that God's got to be answerable for. But the thing is that wouldn't stop me from believing in him if he did reveal himself to me. But that's the point. You've got to go where the evidence leads you. So yes, I've become an atheist, and yes, I've become an atheist because the evidence to support the fact that actually there is no God. So, does this mean then that I've lost all hope, and what's the point in life now then for you, Jay? It's really, really simple. Since becoming an atheist, life has just got that more precious. And it's got more precious because now I know that when I die, that is it. That there is unlikely going to be anything on the other side. So, therefore, each day I will live it to the fullest, because I don't believe that after this life there is anything beyond that. So I'm going to make the most of it. And the thing is that when you become an atheist, you have even more purpose in life, because actually when you believe that something, that you're going to live beyond this realm, all of a sudden this life isn't that important. But actually now that you don't believe that anymore, this life becomes even more important. And so now is the time to be able to tell those people that you love them, be able to go and chase the dreams that you always had when you were growing up as a kid, but always were suppressed with it because of a religion that you belong to. And so now I can actually start living my life according to now how I want to live it, as opposed to being dictated to by somebody who doesn't even exist. Now look, if you are an atheist and you have Christian friends, that's really cool, and that's something that actually we should still be celebrating. If somebody else has got a belief in God, then don't be a dick about it, and I'm certainly not going to be. I know that this video may seem like I am a little bit. I'm not. I'm purely making a point, and I'm purely sharing with you my experience and why I've come to the conclusion that I have. I don't have a problem with people who want to believe in this God. That's absolutely fine. I think it's a bit strange, but it's okay. There's plenty of things that I'm sure I still do that are a bit strange. So I don't have an issue with that. So if you are a Christian, don't be a dick about it. But also, if you are a Christian, then actually understand that you haven't got evidence to support the fact that your faith is actually based on anything other than your own opinion and your own belief. So don't be turning around to other people who don't believe and tell them that actually because of their actions that they're going to burn in hell for eternity. It's a really awful thing, and especially if you start saying it that it's as a result of their actions or anything like that. No. So have your own belief, and by all means be proud of what it is that you believe in, but stop trying to push it on to everybody else. It's not cool. It's not a good thing at all. So anyway, I hope that clears a few things up for you. And if as a result of this video you decide to unsubscribe, well then, sorry about that. And I hope that if you are still a believer, that we can still be friends. But frankly, if you want to now unsubscribe and not be friends as a result of my belief, well, that's fine, because frankly, I don't really give a shit. Now is the time to start loving people and start telling people that you care about them and start making friends. It's not the time to put lots of barriers up in this world now that exists. I think it's time that we just stopped having these ridiculous arguments, to be honest with you, and we just start getting on with each other. Anyway, I hope that's cleared a few things up. I'm sorry it's gone on for a little while. Take care. JT out.